I'm gonna give you guys all a copy of the personnel policy. Because you guys are supposed to have it too, for everything. Yes, but the discipline and stuff and the drug.
That's a fair question.
No, it's.
Do I need
I
to
really
read
want to
it?
hear less than minimum wage.
Well,
yeah.
But, you know, certain, it's, it would be mainly for like the, you know, drug and free workplace.
Actually, I got one from last winter, it's in that board back
Neither one assignment, they got it. So I'll print one for everybody and then they can sign their life away and somebody.
there.
Yeah, out of that entire book, there's probably like 5 pages that pertain to.
Looks good.
But paragraphs are-
Maybe.
Did you call the people?
I talked to them, they disappeared.
I like it.
All right.
I'll get my wheelchair.
The other one, I need green.
We're not doing blue though, are we?
Green.
Green, yeah.
Couldn't get to change color.
Oh, okay.
I think these work sessions could be 2 hours long, it's still not.
No,
Take
but
it to show.
see, there's time to talk freely or.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, they do.
they're confusing to the public, because then you figure everything out on the meeting lasts 15 minutes and you go home. That's all. Transactional.
Work sessions are just for.
Yeah, it'll be
Public.
over the next like
Come and hang
2
out.
years. It'll be like, it'll go so much this year, so much next year, and the rest of the year. I think so.
I will call tonight's Motley City Council meeting to order Monday, June 12th at 6:30 p.m. Now please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I think it's just automatic.
Better.
Coming out of your paycheck.
It's in good shape.
Roll call, Brenda was here earlier this evening for the work session, not able to attend this evening's city council meeting. Consideration of the agenda, any additions or deletions?
We want to add the fire department payroll, so that'd be checks 15066 to 15080 to under the claims. And then fireworks permit, if we can add it to section 10C, so new business, and I'll do the last one.
Any other additions or deletions at this time? Hearing none, presenting the consent agenda. Need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I will make that motion.
Motion made, do we have a second?
I'll second.
A second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, consent agenda passes. Summary of May 8th closed meeting.
I put it in your box, it should have been in there somewhere. right
No,
here.
I have it. Is there a part, because this is new to me, is there a part of this that I present? Is it the back?
That's my performance, that's the summary of the meeting.
Got it. All right.
And if we could pause for a second, so,
Fine.
did you do number 4, number 5 with that motion? Did you approve the agenda or pass the consent
I
agenda?
did not approve the agenda, I just did the consent agenda. So we need to make a motion for the additions to the agenda, which was the fire department payroll and the fireworks permit. Do we have a motion?
I will add that to my motion.
All right. We have a second.
1 second.
Second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Agenda as presented.
Thank you.
Yep. In regards to the closed session, it was for Bruce, Public Works Director, and he scored, do I read this in its entirety?
Yep.
Say that? Okay, all right. Total of 55.6 out of 56 points. Average score was 3.97 out of 4. Summary of the closed meeting held on May 8th. The closed session was an annual performance evaluation for Public Works Director Bruce Brotherton. Performance was determined to be highly satisfactory, receiving 55.6 out of 56 points. Anything else you need from me on that? Nope. Okay. Thank you, Bruce. Agenda requests and presentations.
Nothing.
Hearing none, moving on to number 8, departmental reports, planning and zoning.
We have 2 resolutions here.
Okay.
Well, just as a note, I changed them from having numbers to not having numbers, because if they don't pass, you don't want them to have a number. That's what other cities do, so obviously the real resolution will have a number once you guys pass it.
Is there anything from Public Works we need to know that's specific or unique to the 2 resolutions?
Yeah, we have the 2 resolutions and a lot split under that. That's the surveyor.
Do we have a motion for resolution, we'll call it number 1, the conditional use permit for Daniel Nisbet?
I'll make the motion.
Motion made, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Steve, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Resolution number 2, the variance for Mr. Nisbet.
So moved.
So move, I'll second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Hearing none, carries. The lot split as seen on page 21. Do we have a motion in regards to the request for land surveying and the lot split?
Just so you know, I'll be abstaining from this.
Fair enough. All right, I'll make the motion. Do we have a second?
Do you have any, so you're wanting to approve to do the lot split, or? I don't really know anything about this, I know you guys talked about planning and zoning.
Yeah, I don't either.
Jake said you guys wanted more information about it, and that he would put it on the council, send it to me to put on the agenda to talk about.
This is that one down in the industrial park.
Pardon?
It's the one we talked about in the industrial park, where it's the big lot, and then there's that little part that sticks over from it where the water tower and water plant are, and splitting that off from the big part.
what we have on page 21, it just looks like an agreement to survey it. It doesn't read like you're gonna cut it off yet. Just gonna go to market.
Well, it says it'll provide a boundary survey and certificate for a split.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it says we will mark, stake the corners of both parcels. But I mean, if it's not clear, we should put it off the next.
It's not, when I look back at the other ones, you know, that are more of our resolutions, they're pretty clear. They're a couple pages. This one just looks like they're gonna come in and mark it.
Yeah, they're gonna do the survey into two separate lots. But,
Mhm.
I mean, we can put it off to next
I
month.
mean, this is for us, those resolutions were to approve someone else doing something. This is something you guys were talking about at planning and zoning. That you guys requested to get more information about.
So I'll withdraw my motion that I made because I'm not. I get that they're gonna survey for the certificate for a split. But. Is this, having never seen anything like this, that's why I'm just, I just don't know how it works, don't know how it looks.
Yeah.
Final.
It's the industrial park property behind the food shop and the electrician.
Yeah,
And that one part of it jogs off where the water plant is.
yep,
This survey would break off the part that jogs over where the water plant and the water tower are, so that we can continue working on trying to develop the rest of it.
okay.
And
So the results of this survey is that it's split.
that would be split.
Okay.
That's
All right.
that's my understanding of it.
Okay.
I don't think it's, I mean, if it's not clear or we need clarification, I think it wouldn't hurt to put it off.
Then let's put it off. We'll table number 3 with the lot split. Do we need a motion for that?
I don't think so. Just table it.
Table it? Okay.
And then we'll talk to Jake about it.
Any other comments, concerns, or other business? Hearing none, fire department business.
Report for May, 4 medicals, 1 good intent, 2 motor vehicle accidents, and 3 fires for a total of 10. That's all I have.
Any other comments, concerns, or other business? Bet you guys would like rain, like everybody else. Getting dry. Police department.
All right, reports on page 23 through 25. Total calls for the month were 83, bringing us up to 388 calls. You can see the breakdown of the calls there on the left side of the column. Anybody have any questions on the report? If not, move on to number 2.
If I may, Chief, back, related to the work session, if this is in the right spot, my apologies, but we talked about your calls out from home. If you could present over the last 12 months, just monthly, what those look like, just that number. Does that make sense? Every month, calls out from home?
Yeah, so on the right-hand column,
Yep.
it shows there's 3 for that month.
Yep.
Okay.
If
so
you could go back to last June, so when we talk about it the next work session, we just see every month how many times you're called out from home, and if you have any way to report what the duration of time was.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
sure.
Okay.
You want, each monthly report, you want a full year's worth?
Just of calls out from home that were above it. You're at home watching television, you're reading your favorite book, you get called out. I'd just like to know how many that is specifically. Thank you.
Sure. All right. Number 2, the new squad car update. We applied for the Sourcewell grant for the impact funding. I received a notice from Sourcewell that we were not chosen. It's it's not a raffle, but a
Lottery.
thank you. Lottery drawing, so apparently they had a number of applications this year, far more than they have in the past. So, they just started picking through the pile and we weren't chosen before they ran out of money. So, no grant money there. Number 3, I put in a vacation request. I think Darcy emailed everybody with the dates on that. If anybody has any questions about it, please feel free to contact me. Number 4, squad car issues.
So you need
Oh, sorry.
to approve it, because we haven't changed the personnel policy yet.
Need a motion to approve chief's vacation request.
I'll make one, sorry.
Nikki with the motion,
Second.
Pat with the second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Number 4, squad car issues. So the last about 5 weeks, been having some issues with our squad car. It was electrical issues. We were having a really hard time narrowing it down and finding it. Bruce helped for a bit as well. We've gone through 4 batteries. We have 2 batteries in the squad car. One is our starting battery, one is our auxiliary battery, which run a lot of our other additional equipment. Our auxiliary battery, I've put 4 new ones in the 4 years, or in the 2 years that we've had it. We've been trying to figure out what the problem is, and I think as of last week, Thursday, they finally fixed it. So everything seems to be working properly now. It's just been kind of a thorn in the side, many hours of sitting in various shops. But I ended up taking it to a dealership in Brainerd, and they were able to figure it out finally, so. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that as to where that was at. So if you weren't seeing the squad car run quite so much, that was part of it, because I was spending a lot of time in the shop. Number 5, Officer Holtz has put in his resignation, as you can see on page 26. He has asked me that he would like to stay on the roster as a part-time employee, continue helping us out here in Motley as he can, which I would greatly appreciate and recommend to the council. But I need a okay from you guys to do that.
So you're looking for a motion to accept the resignation
From
With-
full-time,
from
dropping down to
full-time
part-time.
to part-time. I'd make that motion.
I have a question first.
Yep.
So would he be, how many hours part-time would Cody be working? in
It would be,
Indiana?
there wouldn't be a set schedule,
Okay.
it'd be when he's available.
Okay, so kinda on-call nights, right? Still nights or?
It'd probably be mostly nights, yeah.
Okay,
His new position is going to be with Morris County Sheriff's Office. He's going to be working a variety schedule there, so he'll work some days, some nights, some overnights, so it's gonna be kind of when it fits in with that schedule.
okay, thank you.
Had you made that motion? That motion was to accept resignation or retain as part-time. Okay, I would second that.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Thank you to Officer Holtz for his service and his continued desire to serve. It's appreciated.
And that's all I've got unless you guys have anything additional for me.
Yeah, when we didn't get the grant from Sourcewell, what happens now? Money,
Yeah, so there's a couple of different options we can do right now. So after I got the approval to purchase the squad car, I contacted the dealership. And from the time of getting quote pricing to our council meetings, GM has decided to extend their build date, which means they're building more vehicles for a longer period of time. So they're not accepting orders until early fall versus in May. So the squad car, he has my order so he can place it with GM in September, but it hasn't been technically placed yet. A lot of the other equipment I checked on, and that's got variable dates as to when it would get ordered based on lead times to be delivered. Some stuff is taking 6 months, some stuff only takes 2 to 3 weeks to get here. So, right now, the only thing that has been ordered towards the new squad car is the radio, because the lead time on that, they're hoping it'll be in by February, March of next year. So that's the only thing that's been ordered. If ultimately we don't need it, or decide not to get the new squad car, they will be more than easily able to sell it. So they're not gonna be sitting on it or charges for it, they'll be able to get rid of it to another agency. At this point, like I said, nothing's been ordered. We do still have enough in our budget to fully pay for the squad car in our 401k, or 401 fund. So it's not like we don't have the money there to pay for everything out front, but unfortunately we didn't get the grant to help us with some of that as well. So depending on what you guys want to do as far as if we want to try to hire another officer or not to fill Officer Holtz's spot, it's kind of where it's going to lead to whether we need a second car or not, really.
has that, I guess I can just ask, has that changed any thoughts on the council, being we lost that money? It's an awful lot of money we lost. And, with the other officer gone now, can that be, if people wanted that, can that be changed to get back from, or start from square one, or what's people's feelings on that?
So we voted and we approved that, and you have it in the budget, but that is where you said what major repair and purchases, right?
Yes, the 401 fund is used to allocate funds, save them up over a period of time for purchases such as a new squad car or other major purchases for equipment, our computers, the radar systems, those kinds of things that are in there. That's where that money that we put away each year goes towards, so we can acquire that equipment as needed.
So if we move forward with the new squad car, then that kind of depletes pretty much everything in the 401 fund?
I
And if we
don't
know
remember
what that is.
exactly where it's at, but I think we'll be right around 10,000, there'd be about 10,000 left over in there
Okay,
after the purchase of the squad car.
thank you.
We also need to decide what we want to do as far as the position Cody's resigned from.
Uh-huh.
Well, my position, I think everybody knows that. I didn't like it at first, but there's so much money lost, and it was such a close vote anyhow, but now when we lost Sourcewell, that, to me anyhow, adds a lot of thought that should go into it.
Well, I think where I'm at with it, and I appreciate you bringing it up, is we've lost the officer that needs to be in the squad. Now, I also see this in the world of hiring. Hey, we've got a full-time opening, but we don't have all the equipment you need. And I think that's my take on it, is if I think we have to have a discussion about what we want to do moving forward with personnel, with the police department, and I think that will circle right back around to how many vehicles we get home. So, ironically, today I drove back from Duluth, on the way home, 3 different emergency vehicles busted up on the side of the highway, and all I could think of is, they are going into 4th of July. Like, you know, and the equipment is complicated, and I know there's a price tag, but I think we have to come back and talk about what we want to do with the full-time position. And I think one will just lead to the other. That's my.
And that's gonna take some time.
Yep.
I like that, and I feel like we need more discussion on these topics, because I think they're major decisions and they affect a lot of people. And I feel like when we voted on this, we went so quick to a vote, and I had questions, and I would like more discussion, so I agree with you there.
So, from a council standpoint, knowing that we all don't have those talks, how do those talks begin soon? Because I just believe that we are busy enough to warrant having 2 full-timers, and I don't want to wait till July, wait till August. So is that where you as the liaison come in with that, like start having those discussions? Talk me through that, because if we wait till the next board session, we are just pushing it further down the road.
You have to remember though, 1 squad car worked just fine for years, forever.
And that was back when things were different, electronics were different, the need was different. I can't imagine an electrical gremlin in a squad car. There's just a lot going on there, so. They're called emergency services. We are host to thousands of guests every day that pass through our community. So it's not just about local, in my opinion. It's about being prepared for who's coming and going every weekend.
If I'm hearing you right, it sounds like we're gonna wanna have a special meeting scheduled soon. Because I don't think we wanna put it on top of what we're doing today, because we're all gonna be
Yep.
getting awful tired by the time we get a serious discussion on this.
Well, these things tend to get me going, so I still got gas in the tank, but I do appreciate the specials. I think it warrants a one topic,
I do.
one conversation.
Okay, when would we wanna do that? I'm thinking we should go ahead and schedule it if we can. I know Brenda's not here, but
Well, Juneteenth we're closed, so we lost that day. I would advocate for the week of June 26th, as I am committed to being home that week.
June 26th,
Brenda and I would only be available the 26th and 27th.
you will be or won't?
Those would be the only 2 days that we would be.
26th and 27th?
Let's see, almost, yes.
I am not available the 26th in the afternoon, evening.
So can we be 27th?
That's P&Z.
I thought P&Z was on the 20th, so you guys changed it to the 3rd Tuesday.
Yeah, that's right.
What time?
27th would work for me.
Name the time. Open all over.
What time works?
Coffee, let's do coffee.
Mhm.
I think I'm open.
8 a.m., 9 a.m., what time do we open here? 9?
8:30.
We open at 8.
8 a.m., June 27th.
8 a.m.?
You know, I go 8:30, just make sure the door's open. We do.
As long as we leave it unlocked behind us, we're okay.
8:30.
8:30, June 27th.
In regards to filling
8:30
Just gonna call
police
a.m.
it
business.
Police Department business.
Do you want both things on there, then the squad car and the police officer position?
Officer first.
I just have to put what you guys are discussing on the notice, so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other comments, concerns, or other business for the police department? Hearing none, Public Works Department.
Okay, reports on page 27. Nothing too exciting there. Hydrant flushing's done, water's back on finally, that's spring. It's slow charging. The park committee did meet the other day and we did decide to buy some barberry bushes to put along between the skate pad and the pavilion. 16 of them, 2-gallon pots. And looking at one of these for the dog or tennis court area, drinking fountain and bottle filler. And one of these in green for the side of the pavilion. All three of these projects are covered underneath that Region 5 grant thing.
Energy and
Energy.
environment.
Very
So,
cool.
just so you know, that's where we're heading with that stuff.
Was that 15,000 that we?
20,000. Once the lines get this.
And are people gonna know that the one low to the ground is for the pets? Or are we just, is that gonna,
Or the drunks.
is that gonna be the kid?
Actually, none of them are good pets.
No?
It's
Okay.
the wheelchairs or people with bad backs, they can't bend over.
Very cool.
So we're, yeah,
I
88.
assume, the other picture looked like there was more of a bowl, like one down bowl.
Yeah, they're just, this is a water filler and they're still, they gotta be the same height as the other one.
Got it,
It's just-
okay. I thought it was.
This is a wall mount deal where the other one's just freestanding.
Got it.
Most.
Very nice.
So,
We're gonna stay ADA compliant with them.
All right, I get that. Very cool.
try. Someday we'll get sidewalks to them.
Well, when you mentioned the
Someone does
pet,
have a sidewalk.
when you mentioned the pet
right?
park, I just assumed it was for puppies.
Yeah.
That's all.
We have the option to add that on, there's just gonna cost more
I'm
money.
all excited.
They also, oh, I'm sorry, approved the bushes.
Yeah. Yep, that's the barberry bushes, yep. And we're looking at some trees, 4 more trees at Converse Park, probably on the west side, north of the skate pad too, so. But we're still looking into what to get there. Anyway, moving on, if you have any questions on the report? If not, page 28 is tractor tires. On the John Deere, they're pretty wore out and we've been getting by for quite a while, and this time it'll leak that it's too far gone. The inside of the tires coming loose, so we can't patch it anymore. A pair of tires will cost us $668.56 from OK Tire with tubes. So I'm looking for approval on that. I was hoping for used stuff, but I just didn't find any in that size. This thing probably had 15 patches already from
Just
the
get
brush
tired.
piles full of nails and that kind of stuff, so. We're getting stuff in them all the time. We're gonna have to do it this time.
Need a motion for tractor tires.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Steve, seconded by Pat. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Tires.
Thank you.
Comments, concerns, any other business? Administration Department.
Are we even on? Just realized we weren't using our mics and it's not even on. On page 29 is the water usage report. It's up this month because they did do, or last month, they did do hydrant flushing in May, and then the fire department did hose testing, I believe, as well. So that 10% is normal, it's not anything to be concerned about. City code update, we talked about, we had approved the adopting the basic code and then just updating the Title 17, but I think it's better if we do the custom code. That was, I think you guys probably still have it. The proposal up there for, I don't remember what it was, I think you guys have it. I suggest us going with the custom code instead.
But the rental and housing one are not included in that, or what did we?
We haven't decided that, that'll be further. It'll take, months and months for this to get done. It's a long process, so we can make changes and then pass them along to them to do as they're doing it, so. He said there's no rush to make sure we have everything in order. We can make changes and then get it to him.
Got it.
Are you looking for a motion?
Specifically, how should I state the motion?
To approve doing the custom code
Okay.
with American Legal Publishing.
Need a motion to do the custom city codes updates with American Legal Publishing.
So moved.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you for the clarification.
Alright, and then the city seal, which is outdated. We talked about making some changes to it, so if we do the city of Motley, Morrison, and Cass counties, and then having it incorporated 1887, so the date that's there. So you guys would just need to approve our official seal. And then I can order it and we can start stamping things again.
Can we see a final rendering before we approve an
Yeah,
official?
I can bring a final
Perfect.
changed one to the next meeting.
All right. Motion to,
Do you want to wait until I bring?
yeah,
the
I'll wait
official?
for the next
Yeah.
one, I'll table for the next meeting. Good call. General fund budget update.
Next, that's just an update. If anyone has any questions. And then there's also the training opportunities if anyone wants to do anything. As a reminder, next week, the 21st through the 23rd, I'm at the League of Minnesota Cities Conference in Duluth. So I will be here Tuesday of next week. And that's all I have for my section.
Any other comments, concerns, or other business? Hearing none, moving on to old business.
I put this on here because you guys never officially made a motion to accept the financial statements. So if we could just do that kind of.
I need a motion to approve the financial statements.
I'll make the motion.
Motion made, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Pat, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Update on personnel policy, Juneteenth, other updates.
So, if we want to add Juneteenth, which is June 19th of every year, as a paid holiday to our personnel policy, since it passed to become a federal holiday, and I think that's, oh yeah, we're changing that, and then, section 6.2C, so that instead of department heads coming to the council to get council approval for vacations, that we would just go to our liaison and inform them that we are taking a vacation.
Got it. Motion's needed on those? Yep. Motion made as presented regarding Juneteenth and presentation of vacations.
So moved.
Do we have a second? I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries.
And then before we move on, if you wanna make a motion to okay Sarah getting paid for holiday pay for Juneteenth and 4th of July, and then I'll bring wording to the next meeting about changing the part-time paid holiday.
Need a motion to specifically get Sarah paid for Juneteenth and 4th of July as a part-time employee.
I'll make that motion.
Motion is made, second.
Second.
Second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Sarah appreciates it.
And we her. Any other unfinished business? New business, IT contract updates.
Oh, so, this is kind of a big one. I put the proposal in the packets on page 34 to 39. So our support that we have is outdated, so to start, we need to move to, I think they call it the Daytona desk. The current program or whatever we're on, they don't really do anymore. And the police department in particular, there's a lot more rules and regulations that have passed that we need to update for IT. So no matter what, there's those that have to be done. Our IT suggests us also doing it for the rest of the city, because that'll probably, it's not, some of it's not exactly required now, but it probably will be down the road. And this will save us money with the one-time costs. Cause if we do the police department, we'd have to pay the one-time cost now, and then if we did it again, we'd have to pay that fee again. So it's kind of just getting our emails more secure, getting firewalls set up, all kinds of stuff. So it would, to get everything kind of, see, the first part is for the hardware, so FortiGate is the firewall. So, I wrote it down somewhere. Bear with me, because I only understand part of this IT stuff. So that would be the firewall, and that would be, they have us down for 2, so that one-time cost is 2 of them. That's for City Hall and the water treatment plant. Says we need to separate that as the PC has access to the SCADA system. And it will replace a Nighthawk residential router, that's what he told me. The second one, the FortiGate FS124E, that Ethernet would be where our current one is, the switches upstairs in the fire department's file room. The next one, we would get 2 of them. One would go for the police department, because they need to have a separate network that's completely separated from anyone else's. And then there would be one at Sarah's desk, we have one right now, so we would just switch that one out with the new one. The last one on this hardware one is the Wi-Fi. So that would just go up there also in the file room. So those are the one-time costs of getting the hardware and stuff, and then on the right it says notes. We get a year included, but then it's gonna be an ongoing cost of $125 a year for each of these, so there's 5 of them. So it's for the 2 firewalls, the 3 switches, so 5 times 125, we would pay that every single year. And then,
And what does that get us? They maintain it, make sure it's always working and blinking.
yeah, pretty much, and then the one-time cost for the labor, he said that we would max out at 30 hours. So if it goes over 30 hours, they're not gonna charge us for more than 30 hours. But if it's under 30 hours, they'll charge us how many hours they actually did it. So if it's 37 hours, we're only getting charged 30 hours, but if it's like 27, we're only getting charged 27 hours.
And when do they come in and do the work so it doesn't interfere with you doing yours or Chief
all
doing his?
Depends if you guys pass this and, you know, their schedules and stuff. So they could take a couple of months and stuff to get things ready. So that's that part of it. And then the page 37 shows kind of what we get with this subscription and stuff as they put a desk. All of that stuff. So antivirus, firewall monitoring, you know, all the things we need for them to continue running. At page 38, so the Daytona desk, that would